About 71% part of the earth crust is covered with water body, while 29% part with land. It shows that most of the continents and countries have their coastline and coastal or maritime climate, which is densely inhabited by the population. One question is there that the depth of ocean water is measured and the height of the land or mountain peaks is also measured, and that is baseline, that is coastline, that is shoreline. So today let us understand what is the difference between baseline, coastline and shoreline. For this, let us see this figure, and this is water body and this is continental part. Here water level, general water level is this. This water level is called baseline, and this is also coastline. Coastline is a permanent feature. Had there not been motion or movement in water, this sea level might have been permanent, but naturally the marine water is being disturbed by the wind-caused waves, tsunami waves, and moon and sun-caused tidal waves. That's why this level, sea level, always varies. Here, you don't be confused that sea level is changed positively when sea level goes up and sea level goes down. That is different thing that we will learn in sea level change. Here, the tidal waves come, and during spring tide, which occurs on full moon and new moon, the tide rises up to this height. This is high water level during spring tide, and this area is covered occasionally and briefly by water. But when that tide goes down, that level is here. This is also the low water of high or spring tide. Up to this, the seabed is briefly and occasionally opened. Thus, the range of high or spring tide is between this line and this line. And if there is low tide during normal days, besides the new moon and full moon, high or spring tide, per day 2 tides occur in water of ocean. In normal tides, this is average ordinary tide where water level comes up to this, and when it subsides, this is the average low water of normal tide. So this way, if you attack the water with your palm with full force, that water will rise up to very high level and that will go down to low level. But if you will slap that water slowly, that water will rise for a less height and also go down for a less depth. So this is the impact of tide and the water level changes. If we have to calculate the depth of a sea or ocean bottom, we take this base level as baseline, and from here the height of land or mountain peak or plateau is also computed. This is average. How this average is defined? we fix here a nilometer, that is of concrete structure, so that it is not being eroded by marine water, by solution or by fluvial process. And the highest tidal water is this and the lowest is this. In between the two there is average. This average is fixed here, and from here, with the help of plane table survey, the height of a land is being measured, and with the help of different techniques, the depth of water body from this reference level is being measured. So this is baseline, and this is a coastline which is permanent. Here one term is datum plane. Datum plane is an imaginary plane which is parallel or equal to the base level. Thus, the datum plane is also a reference point to measure the height of a point on the earth surface from datum plane. Here there is one question, that if you have to see the activities of the ocean waves, you are a tourist and you have to observe, view the scene of the water body or ocean, where you will stand on land. Here point A, B, C, D, E. Because there some temporary shops also have been established for serving you tea and bread. So here, if shops will be established, so viewers will not stay here, because after 15 days on full and new moon, tidal water reaches here. But here tidal water reaches every day, twice. That's why better to install the tea stall or other shops at this point, because most of the tourists will come up to this spot, because it is the tidal line which is twice touched by the marine water. And if some tourist is standing here, then he or she will face the sea to have a view of the ocean, and this is the front part and this is the back part of the tourist. That's why this is called back shore and this is called foreshore. And after this, the land which is always covered with water body is called offshore. What is shore? You should understand it and differentiate between the coast and shore. As you have learned that coast is permanent, coastline is permanent, but shore is not permanent. Shore in Hindi means sound, awaz. If the tidal waves will come here, there will be sound or shore caused by the waves, tidal waves. If waves are here, shore will be here. Waves are here, here, here. It means shore is a changing phenomena here. Shore always changes because it is being controlled by the presence and noise made by the sea waves. And if somebody is standing here, so this is called back shore and this is called foreshore, and the land which is invisible to that tourist or which is always covered is called offshore, and this is also called sublittoral zone. Sublittoral, littoral stands for coastal. This is coastal belt and this is called subcoastal belt, sublittoral zone. Now, what is the importance of shore? And as you are seeing, this is on shore. If you are standing here, you can make permanent residence here. So this is on shore. This term shore is also being used in the drilling of petroleum, because most of the petroleum of world is found along the coastal belt, mostly in the offshore region or sublittoral belt. So, if petroleum is being drilled from the ocean bottom in offshore region, this is called offshore drilling, while some drillings are onshore, which are practiced here. That's why you keep onshore, backshore, foreshore and offshore. These are the technical oceanographic terms. Now one thing more is, it is splash zone. What is splash? When raindrop falls on a hard or soft rock, due to its physical impact, a very small hole is formed. That is called splash erosion, and this is called splash zone. Why? Because marine water or tidal waves never cross this limit, and the splash drops are seen here. That is, the fluvial process works up to this line, and below this line, this is marine process that works, and this process, its detail, erosional and depositional landforms will be studied in coastal landforms. One term more is here, that here if you are standing here, so about shore you have classified, and you can minutely classify again the shore, that this is upper shore and this is middle shore. Middle shore is between the average tide high, average high and average low, and below it, it is lower shore. So upper shore, middle shore and lower shore. So these are the types of shore, and this completely is known as shore zone. It is affected largely by the marine tidal waves. One term more to keep in mind is beach. What is beach? Beach term in Hindi stands for middle. Middle means neither it is completely land nor it is completely ocean bed. Ocean bed starts from here and land starts above it. This is in between. And suppose there are some persons who cover their body fully, but at the same time some persons are completely clothless, naked, Nagababa. But some persons wear half cloth, they are semi-naked. They are called beach. And as you have seen, the foreigners come and enjoy this beach. They are semi-naked and they lay down their body here, and free of cost, nature comes, waves, tidal waves come and make him bath. That's why this is beach used by the tourist. So beach has very importance economically in India. For example, the west coast of India and the east coast of India has a number of beaches, and foreigners approach here and tourists enjoy this beach. But there is a question, or there is a matter of dispute. If India government allows these persons, foreigners, to come here, then plus point is that India will earn money, economy will be enriched, India will get foreign currency. But at the same time, its dark side is that our very strong culture, will be polluted because the small children and young male and female may be misguided by that scene. So, what is your opinion if this question is before you in UPSC, whether India should allow the foreigners or tourists to enjoy the beach in India or not? So, you don't be in dilemma. Take one decision. What is your decision? You decide it. Personally, I feel that the foreigners should be allowed here because India needs its economy enriched. Contrary to it, the dark side will not have any impact on our very strong culture. If you study the history of our culture, from very beginning it had been very strong and powerful. A number of people came from West Asia, from abroad. They tried to change our culture, but at last they failed. They adopted our culture. That's why there is no problem of culture. Then again there may be a question that why the people from UK, Canada, Japan come here in India to enjoy beach, whether there is no beach in high latitude countries. So beaches are also there because marine waves also have developed very good and beautiful beaches in the high latitude countries. So why not the people of that region enjoy that beach? Its very clear-cut answer is that in high latitude countries the weather is cool. That's why the semi-naked people, when they will sit on the beach, the cold stroke may affect them, hit them. That's why they are afraid to enjoy their beaches. In comparison to that, the beach in low latitude countries like in India, their climate is favorable good. It is warm climate and they come and in semi-naked position they lay down on the beach and enjoy the beach of India or tropical region. That's why beach is a very important thing and it will be studied in detail in coastal topography and coastal landforms.